together to try to get more people.
That's wonderful. I think Scott is not planning on having a meeting, and I can understand that.
Yes. It is, you're live. It says we're live.
Good morning, my fellow Toastmasters and all of you potential Toastmasters out there. Welcome to the show. My name is Ken Richardson. I am your program quality director. And my co-host today is the lovely Jennifer Smith. Hi, Jennifer.
Good morning.
How's everything going? Are you getting ready for Thanksgiving?
Oh my goodness, am I ever. My son is going to smoke the turkey, but we're not having a full turkey because of the fact that we do not like to, most of us do not eat the breast. And so we usually fight over the dark meat. So we went to the store and just bought thighs and turkey legs.
Okay, good. Well, my favorite thing to have for Thanksgiving is not even turkey at all. It's salmon.
Oh, well, we eat salmon. We eat salmon like once a week or once every other week. So
I'm a big seafood fan. I'd rather have seafood than steak any
yeah,
day.
my dad would kill me if I was like, oh, and here's a platter of salmon.
So I think we're actually going to have both. We're having a neighborhood thing. This will be the first Thanksgiving in quite a few that we haven't gone out of town for the holiday. Usually we're out of town for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
But this year we will be out of town for Christmas, but not Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So we're having a neighborhood get together.
Do you guys eat outside or in the houses in each other's homes?
It depends on the weather. If we're hosting, my wife likes to grill, so we'll grill and have kind of if the weather's nice, we'll have indoor outdoor sort of traffic, if you will, because some folks like to stay in and watch the game. Others like to go sit on the patio. And so it just depends on the weather more than anything else. I think it's a bit chilly, but not really rainy or unpleasant for
I think it's going to be cloudy. So
yes.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. We have we've lived here about 10 years, almost 11 years, and we have a great bunch of neighbors. All of us are about the same age, coincidentally. It's not a restricted neyborhood. It just us old people, we seem to attract each other. Oh gosh. Well, before we start, we're going to talk about how some things that we can do to grow our membership today.
When you sent me that email, I was pretty excited about that.
Oh, good. Because I think there's a roadmap out there that we can share with our members. But before we do that, I want to acknowledge a loss of the Area A4 director, Steven Siegel. He died unexpectedly and suddenly on the 7th of November. And it was a while before we found out. We kept trying to get in touch with him and got no response until we finally learned. Still don't know, what happened, but I just want to acknowledge him and, say that he certainly will be missed. I didn't know Stephen really well, but he was also a member of my Lions Club. So,
oh, wow.
So, yeah, we knew each other a little bit. Yeah. But he will be missed, and
definitely will be missed.
Yeah, each year we lose people, and certainly folks have been in Toastmasters for a while. It's always something that we don't like, and we miss a lot of folks over the years. Yep. If you've been in Toastmasters a while, but just want to wish all our best to his family and friends.
Yes. You will be missed, Steven Siegel, with your shenanigans.
Yeah, he was in the not the humorous. He was in the international contest last year.
International, yep.
Yeah, when he wasn't a district officer, so.
Yep.
And did very well. I liked his presentation.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm going to head out there today as well. So I'm going to.
This happens to be one of the biggest service projects of the year that I volunteer. Where I volunteer, it's called Project Homeless Connect. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
Have not.
It's a multi-agency day where we try to take care of some of the homeless. And
Okay.
this is going to be at the Silver Nugget in North Las Vegas.
Yes.
There will be, the health department will be there providing shots, flu shots and vaccines. There will be this big 18-wheeler that's sponsored by, I think, Caesars Entertainment sponsors, that they have showers in this big,
Showers.
yeah, they can take
I think I've
showers.
been to one on as a service for my son's scouts.
Mhm.
And it was on Thanksgiving Day where they had like the beauty shop and the barber shop and the showers and clothes to pick from. And so it was huge. It was
That's
very
exactly what it is. And
touching.
my Lions Club participates every year.
Oh,
I am certified vision screener. So one of
oh,
our major projects is we take care of people with visual problems. If they don't have the money, we have a fund that we can get them eyeglasses, an eye exam, that kind of thing. So
oh, wow.
uh, this is something that we plan year to year. So I unfortunately will miss, but
I see an alliance with the Lions Club and District 115 here.
I do have to tell you, in addition to Stephen, who was in my Lions Club, Guy Dawson is in my Lions Club,
Oh, okay.
and Sid Maestri. I don't know if you know Sid. He's a member of Toastmasters,
Uh-huh.
but we're
I don't
all.
know him, but I've seen him.
And Mohammed Hai, I don't think Mohammed is still in Toastmasters, but he was in Toastmasters and my club for a while. Anyway, I won't be able to make the service today. I know there's a graveside service.
Yes.
If anybody needs information on that, you can shoot me an email and I will, but do it quickly because right after the show, I'm heading out.
It is on Facebook on
Okay, good.
Larry Johnson posted that on whatever day today is. So Sunday.
Excellent. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's talk about membership growth. Membership growth is a topic that all of us deal with. And I was looking for some guidance, of course, on the TI website. Have you had a chance to explore the new configuration of the TI website?
I just went, I don't know what I went up there for, but I do like the personal greeting. Hi, Jennifer. What can we help you with today? But I haven't done too much of the exploring.
Well, I have explored it a little bit, and I think there's some good things and things that are a little bit more problematic. I haven't explored it extensively, and I need to do that. But among the things I do like, that sort of as a carryover, is it's relatively easy to find documents using the little search box. And if you are interested in things like membership growth and how you can, help your club, there's a great, it's a manual. I've got it keyed up to come to look at, but it's just called Membership Growth. And that it's about 10 or 15 pages, but we'll take a look at that a little bit. And it gives you, sort of some step-by-step things that you can do. And I think we have a tendency, at least I do, reflecting my own deficiencies here, to not look at the structures like that. And it seems like, okay, I just need to follow this. I need to be consistent in following some of these guides over time to keep club growth on an even keel. And it does talk about things like doing an internal evaluation, like understanding your members and what their goals are, and that kind of thing. So it talks about moments of truth. And then it has a great list of all the references that folks can download for free. But before we take a look at some of that stuff, I know you are very, very savvy when it comes to social media and what have you. So what do you think are maybe the top 3 things clubs should be doing every single day, if you will, to help grow their membership?
My biggest thing, especially since social media makes it so easy, is consistently talk about your clubs. I talk about my clubs and it's consistently once a week, right? Once a week. That's all I'm asking for, and that's consistent. So you either do an announcement of your meeting, or you do a video or a synopsis of what happened at the meeting. So maybe it's twice a week. One's the announcement and one's what happened, because it then drives people to look at it and say, oh, well, it looks like they had fun. So UNLV Toastmasters does a really good job, and so does I'll Drink to That does a really good job at using social media and being consistent, because it's not whether or not, oh, I'm going to do it once and nothing happened. We've been doing Wake Up with Toastmasters now for 3 years, and our viewers go up and they go down. But one of my big things about Wake Up with Toastmasters is we show it on this growth page, but we have visitors, and the visitors should also share it to theirs. The district also should share it amongst the website as well, or the Facebook page, and maybe take some of our videos and then start putting them on the website, so that people, when they're driving by, they can see, or searching.
I was going to say driving.
Yeah, driving by, searching
Okay.
the website, they could see some of the speeches, the interviews that we have, and the people that we have on our show. They speak very, very well and with polish. And if somebody wants to speak like that, then by all means, join a Toastmasters club. So we just have to have exposure. And that's just one of the things with social media that helps. It's a tool. My biggest thing is to invite people face to face every chance that you get. You can benefit from a Toastmasters meeting.
Exactly. I'm glad you mentioned some of our clubs, because I know when I go, but you forgot, like Toastmasters in the Kitchen, they have great social media presence.
I wonder why.
Yeah, who's in charge of that? I don't know. I'll have to give a talk to them. And then I was talking to some folks at Saturday Morning Live, and they are very active with posting, like on the Free Toast website.
Uh-huh.
They've got some great pictures of their recent Halloween party. And I was talking to one of their members who told me that they got some interest. A couple of people who were, just like you said, surfing around. They saw the pictures. They said, wow, this looks like a fun club. Yeah. So using social media is a big deal. And I don't know, with the exception of some of the clubs we've mentioned, I don't know that we do as good a job as we should. And I'm not sure if there's a social media guide on the website. I'll have to check. Is there?
I think there is. Yes.
Okay, because that could be helpful. And a lot of times it's a matter of sitting down and just experimenting. Yes. Whenever you want to learn something, for example, I would like to learn how to use Canva. Now, you use Canva, right? And that's a program that helps you design advertisements and what have you, that kind of thing. And it's a matter of sitting down and really being deliberate in your approach to learn something. It's like learning a foreign language or learning anything else. You have to be consistent and persistent with it. And then once you acquire those skills, they'll stay with you. It's easier to update once you have that foundation. One thing I wanted to ask you, though, as I was thinking about this, I know we have like a Twitter account. And
we do.
Yeah. I don't know who does that. Is that our PRM that oversees that, or? Good. Okay. And an Instagram. And those are two programs. Of course, Twitter's been in the news here of late. It seems to be kind of cascading in a spiral of some downward because of, half the workforce. Did I read that somewhere? Half the workforce has left. They've either been fired or
Yep,
they
on
left.
Friday. Yeah.
And I'm going to have, TI, I think, is Toastmasters International is also aware that our clubs are struggling. We don't have the membership. If you look at the data from the end of the last fiscal year, which was June 30, 2022, overall growth worldwide was down 6% compared
I saw that.
to the prior year. So that's spurred them to develop a bit of a social media campaign. I don't know much about it yet, but we are going to participate in it. I don't know if you've heard that yet. Yay!
I was told that at the beginning of the year that you guys were going to do something, some kind of marketing.
Well, they are, and I think we have a webinar coming up where we're supposed to learn more. Of course, it's not free. We do have to buy into it.
Yeah.
But one of the focus areas for this project that they've done in some other districts focuses on LinkedIn. And I think LinkedIn has become or is becoming, a really tremendous social media site for not just jobs and stuff, but for networking.
Yes, and I post, but Toastmasters in the Kitchen and Valley Voices and Vices, I post our announcements. Anything that I post on Facebook, I move it to LinkedIn.
Okay, so do you agree that's a good choice for? I don't know what led Toastmasters International to focus on LinkedIn, but
it is a networking social media tool.
Well, and certainly a lot of entrepreneurs and business folks and folks looking to improve their skills. Because certainly, when you talk about, what is the appeal of Toastmasters? One of the things that I think is appealing to the business world, the corporate world, is the development of so-called soft skills. Things like good communication, working in teams, leadership. And those are the kinds of skills that we perhaps don't emphasize enough in our recruitment efforts.
Correct.
So I can see why LinkedIn.
Social intelligence or emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence, social intelligence. Yes, absolutely. How to get along with people.
Yeah.
and how to express yourself, So I think that's why they might have chosen that. The other outlet I wondered about is, YouTube. What's your take on that? Should we be pushing that more?
You know what? I am not a big YouTube fan. Even with Toastmasters in the Kitchen, we talk about putting our information on YouTube. It houses our videos. It does a really good job at that. And there's instructions. People go onto YouTube to find things as well. And if when you go through this webinar, it's so funny, we were going to talk about something else, but when you go through this webinar, this is what needs to probably come to mind. And this is what I wanted when I was PRM. I wanted, who is going to handle YouTube? Who is going to handle LinkedIn? Who is going to handle Twitter? Because one person can't do it all. And you don't want the same information to go to all of the social media sites, right? You don't want the same post to go on Instagram, to go on Facebook, to go on LinkedIn. You want variety. So Twitter, you only have so many characters. So what I wanted to use Twitter for was leadership quotes, right? Or something inspirational. That's what I wanted to use Twitter for. For LinkedIn, it's more of like the social or business gathering. For Facebook, it's for information, right? And then for Instagram, it's more of the short reels or the videos that go through that maybe, Jennifer said something that was funny at a club or whatever. Did you know about this from somebody's presentation? That's what all of these social media outlets have different ways to push out the information. So you do need at least 5 committee members to be able to go, okay, this is what we are going to do. This is what you're going to do. Meetup. Don't forget our meetup club. Don't forget to make sure all the clubs are exposed, all the information's correct. So there's lots of things that you are going to have to do and to have a committee on. And whether it be the division directors or the area directors or pull somebody, all the VPPRs, I think that we may have a good way to have a discussion on December 3rd about how are we going to have this committee, besides talking on your VPPR roles, that we also have an obligation to the district type thing. So
yeah, I like that. That makes a whole lot of sense. And I've often thought that one of the things we don't do as well as we should is interact between clubs. We get in a bit of a tunnel vision, I think, sometimes.
Correct.
And we're only looking at our club. But I like the idea of having this PRM committee made up of the VPPRs, because they are the folks that hopefully we can look to help develop this expertise, and then that would become part of our district heritage, if you will, and something that we pass on from. As you know, District 115 is relatively new. And we do have a need to develop sort of our genetics, if you will.
Correct. Yeah.
our history,
our legacy.
Yes, our legacy and our footprint. Yeah. I think what happened is, as you know, we were just getting started when COVID hit. And so we were suddenly taken out of the in-person environment and put on Zoom. We lost members. So we didn't have a chance to develop that tradition, that legacy. So I like that suggestion.
We have a good community of corporations as well. And I think that's where our demise came from, because of the corporations and the willingness to be able to stay online, which is kind of disappointing because of the fact that when we were all shut down, that's when we needed each other the most, so that's kind of disappointing. But now that we're back and we are in person, or we have mastered this Zoom format, the corporations should be jumping back on board. And I truly believe that the market for employment is getting tighter, where our unemployment is probably rising a little bit more, even after the era of the Great Resignations, that people now are trying to get back into the workforce, and the communication. And as we talked about, the emotional intelligence and the leadership skills is becoming more important. Of course, just because you're out looking for a job today and you join Toastmasters doesn't mean that you're going to get a job tomorrow, but it does set foundations where you can interview better, where you can communicate better and have that emotional intelligence. So we're here for the people out there that need that guidance and that help. So.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% that we're still recovering in a lot of ways, and our corporations have come back. Certainly, our casino industry is booming. I just read each quarter they're making record profits. So
yeah, so we're just making those machines tighter.
Is that it? We just have to get them back to thinking about developing in-house skills through a Toastmasters club. I do want to take a minute. I know it's 6:25. I want to
I
share.
know, look at
Uh,
us.
here we are. Something good to talk about, but I want to share some tools. Okay. Can you see okay?
Yes.
All right. I love this. This is item number 1159. Everything has an item number.
You're going askew.
Yeah, I want them to publish a list of here's the item numbers and here's a description.
Oh,
So
like an index. Yeah.
yeah, like an index on the web page, because that resource uh, option on the menu still is a little clunky
Yes.
to find stuff. But I've found over the years that there are a lot of tools on there that we don't always take advantage of. And this is one of them. I just want to show you this. And you can download this for free. I think I'll send it out to all the VP and memberships so they'll have it. But this is called Membership Growth. It is a 22-page PDF. And we're not going to go through all of it, obviously. But I want to show you some of the items that are in here that clubs can use. If you are the VP of membership or VPPR together, that's a dynamite team. But here we go. Here's some of the contents. It starts out talking about how do you prepare your club for growth. And one of the things you do is you analyze, well, what's the status of our club? You sort of let's take a snapshot of where we are right now. And you can do that in the moments of truth. And I don't know if you've ever used that program.
I haven't.
But it's a great program. It basically helps you to analyze sort of the key metrics of how we treat each other. Are we do we welcome guests? Are we following the educational program? Do we follow up with guests? What is the environment like at a club meeting? It asks those questions, and this is a sort of like a survey that your club members take to evaluate themselves and our club as a whole. And it's very simple to do, but it's important because I think it helps us focus on some key things that too often we take for granted. So it's about preparation. It's about building a committee structure. We talked about a district-wide structure. This also recommends something we don't do often, other than the executive committee.
Mm-hmm.
Do your clubs have other committees? You might have an open house committee or something.
Oh gosh, no, we don't, because our clubs are Valley Voices and Vices is a very small club, and I am basically the public relations committee, and we do have our membership. So both Francisca and I are one where we get that member and we're on it, just the same as Toastmasters in the kitchen, is that I have that membership role as well. Our membership person, VPM, she does a really good job at following up, and we all basically tag team. So maybe it's just the group, like the executive committee for Toastmasters in the kitchen, where we do touch the members and follow up on the members all together. So we just got 2 new members because of that, because I was sick, as in Chen, who is our membership person, she was ill, and we were just like on it with the members, and we just got two new people. So we're in it together.
I think what does happen is the executive committee takes on a lot of these functions in some way. Correct. So rather than having a committee separate for membership, it may be a part of the executive committees, and that makes some sense given the size. So I'm just going to scroll down here and show you a little bit about, since you haven't used the moments of truth, it's kind of a yes/no questions, things like first impressions. Are guests greeted warmly? So you go through this and say, just a yes/no to these various questions on the first impressions.
Maybe we should do that when we're getting ready to have an open house in January. And so maybe we should have a moments of truth so we understand what we're what we're up against as members, so we know when we do get those guests that we're a little bit more energetic, or how do we follow up?
Yes, and this helps you evaluate your club's new member orientation. What about fellowship, variety, program planning, and meeting organization? How strong is that? Membership strength. This is what I wanted to get to, recognizing accomplishments. I don't know if you saw the analysis on the TI website.
I did.
Success of why people, how they rate certain aspects of Toastmasters. And this category of people feeling like they are recognized for their accomplishments did not do as well as some of the others. Most of them, had score ratings. They were using a 7-point scale, but if you convert that to a percentage, this most were in the 80%. This was in the 70% range. Yeah. So anyway, this book will tell you about that. It'll talk about creating these committees.
I think you should send that out to the membership.
I will. I don't want to get to, I know we're running out of time here. We're a little over.
Out of time.
I know, but I want to go down. I'm going to scroll rather quickly here for a moment, because I want to go down and show folks on like the very last page the wonderful list of resources. And I'll also make sure that we talk about this in the next newsletter. But this is about page 15 or so, or 16. But here's a list of all of the different types of resources that are available, mostly for free. Now, the Speechcraft kit, I think, is you have to pay for that. But most everything else is free. Things like how to be a distinguished club, a success plan, let the world know. That's a PR document.
Yep.
And then various promotional materials, brochures and what have you.
Correct.
That you can use to help develop your open house. So I think the message I want to leave folks with today is to make them aware of the fact that there are a lot of resources available to them for free on the TI website.
Absolutely.
And as we continue in Wake Up with Toastmasters, I always try to make sure I give something to our members that they have useful. And as you suggested, I will send this out to all the VP of membership.
Yeah, absolutely. And my VP PR presentation as the instructor, I usually give them a list and the websites after our meeting, just to kind of recite what we talked about so that we have that. So, which is good.
That is good.
Yep.
Okay, well, we are a little bit over time, but it's certainly, I know, but it's gone so quickly. It's so nice to have you as my co-host. I want to wish you and all of our members a very, very happy Thanksgiving. It's coming up this week. Whether you like turkey or not.
I love the way that people doctor up their Thanksgiving besides the traditional turkeys. So that's really good.
Exactly. Well, remind everyone that we do have coming up on December 3rd is the early bird TLI. That's for officers who have already received the basic training and are continuing in the role for which they were trained. It's a little bit different format, so there's no reason to repeat the basic stuff. So it's a little different format, but it is restricted. You can get in touch with me if you have questions about that. And then on December 10th, we will have the Educational Enrichment Night, working on the schedule for that. So that should be coming out. I think that's also Division A that day, during the day, is having their tea. So that'll be a fun event as well.
Holiday tea.
A tea. I like that. Yes. All right. Well, let's say goodbye to everyone. Thank you for joining us. And
can you stay on? So
sure. Absolutely. Let me just say bye, everybody. Have a great holiday.